Good morning and welcome back to our Ireland tour. We're in Galway, or Galway, not Galloway. And we're going to be flying down to Birr. It's about a 40-mile flight, and we're back in the Cessna 172. Exciting day here for us. Today is going to be our first, recorded flight. I've been playing around with it a bit. It's going to be our first flight with our new Honeycomb Alpha yoke. I got it on Saturday, set it up today, and we're going to give it a shot, see how it works. This does mean I've lost my throttle, which was on my Logitech Pro, so I'm going to have to use the mouse. So I've got track IR on. Again, small airplane just helps to be able to look around, but it's got a nice feeling to it. I did a couple circuits at my home airport up near Toronto, and it was pretty good. So I figured I'd do a few flights today and do some more of the Ireland tour. So let's hop inside. And get the track IR going again. Gonna have to play a little bit with getting myself centered here. All right. So we don't need a yoke now. We can do away with that. And I wish I could touch the reset key without having to lean forward that much. There we go. So first thing we're going to do, master
TOS system test. Okay.
on. Mixture's in. We're going to crack the throttle slightly. Put the fuel pump on for a minute. Oh, check our fuel flows. Yeah, they're good. Okay, you can be quiet now. Thank you. And fuel flow off. We will throw on the beacon light. And let's start it. And again, you can hear the unit clicking there as we do this. It's got nice feeling switches and stuff on it. Alright, let's get the avionics up. Get the nav light on. Alright, so we're going to take you off. We are going to go with the wind, option 3. And once again, we do have the route nav'd in, but it's kind of to keep us steady while we go out and look around. Alright, so things are pretty good outside. Drop down slightly. So we're going to be... Where's that windsock? We're going to taxi down to the far end and take off. It's 8:30 in the morning on this November 10th? November 9th. So, should be a nice day. Alright, let's get the taxi light goes on. And, I think we're going to ignore Fred here, and we'll just go around. Should be standing that close to us anyway. All right. Not sure where you go in and out of here. Let's do a quick jump out, take a look. Wow, they really got their airplanes parked in a funny way. That's fine. Give a little bit of throttle. We'll head down here. They don't leave a lot of room for taxiing, that's for sure. No, no, no. No, no, I said no. Well, it's something we'll have to get used to. Not being able to use the throttle like we were. Alright, let's taxi down to the far end and we'll get ready to go. So we're going to do 4 flights today. We're going to be heading, I think we're going to get to the furthest south of Ireland today, down in, I believe it's Cork. So we're crossing back across to the central part of Ireland, then we're going to head southeast, work our way down a little bit more, and then be down on the south coast there. This is awkward without the throttle. Of course, the problem with this joystick, or this big unit here that the Honeycomb is I gotta figure out where to put my keyboard now. It's kind of at arm's reach at the moment. And somebody should tell these guys, landing lights like this do not go on the actual runway surface. Alright, let's get turned around. There we go. Get lined up. Alright. So we're going to go down to flaps 1. So, let's taxi light off, strobe lights on, landing lights on. And we are trimmed for takeoff. Once we get in the air, we'll talk a little bit more about the joystick. It's 50 knots, 60 knots, we'll ease back, and we're up. Begin our turn. Put the flaps up as well. Try to keep her climbing out. Oh, beautiful sunrise. Come back around to intercept our course. I think we'll go up to about 1,500 feet. Oop, come on. Now the thing in the small airplanes is the trim is it's rather aggressive. select, and nav mode. Alright. And come back slightly on the power. There we go. So yeah, the honeycomb alpha yoke, it's got a really nice feel to it. Really enjoying it. A couple things about it is that the drivers are embedded in Flight Sim. So I didn't have to download it. I went on the website and it said not required. And as soon as I plugged it in, and when I started up the Flight Sim, it recognized it. And right away, it had everything set up. All the switches and buttons, which is absolutely fantastic. And you can set multiple profiles, and that will come very handy with the new one, the throttle quadrant, which I've got on order. But you'll be able to switch between an airplane like this, which just has a throttle and a mixture, and switch to a 4-engine jet airliner like a 747. And all the controls will change just by switching the profile when you load in, and then you just change the handles from a throttle and a mixture to 4 jet throttles and a spoiler and a flap lever, and it should work pretty easily. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's just gonna be a little awkward right now because, like I said, I do not have a throttle, and I've got to figure out where to put my keyboard. I'm gonna have to rearrange my desk a little bit. I think that's the crucial thing. But I wanted to give it a try doing some general aviation flying. It's got a really good feel to it. It's solidly mounted to the desk. I like the way the yoke feels when you move it around. The switches are all very positive interactions, so there's no doubt things are switching. And I didn't even calibrate it. Haven't had to yet. It's a default calibration, and it seems to be working fine. I'm going to play with it for a bit, and if I need to, I know how to calibrate it. I've looked it up, so I'll do that. But other than that, it's absolutely fantastic, and it's adding a really nice feeling to flying an aircraft like this. I mean, this is a beautiful November morning here in Ireland, and it adds something to the airplane. Nice and smooth, a lot smoother than my Logitech was, and that joystick was at least 10 years old. If I remember right, anyway. I've had it for a long time. So we're heading back across the central part of Ireland to Birr, which B-I-R, I think it's spelled. Small town in central Ireland, and we're getting a nice view from the air. Now, one of the great things about Track IR, which I'm using, is that I can look around. I don't have to look down for, like, move my hand to move the mouse to look for controls. I can just kind of turn my head down. That's great. So I'm not moving the screen all over the place as I look for controls. What I can do is I look out the window, and we can look down and see what's going on. Sit back up or kind of look up over the nose. So it's a really cool addition. I think before the next flight, I'm going to rearrange my desk a little bit and try different arrangements on these legs just to see how things work out. So you can see this is where we left. We're flying down. We're heading here, so kind of into the center of Ireland. And it's a short flight. It said 30-minute flight, so we'll just stick with it as we go. Watch this gorgeous sunrise. So I don't think anybody in today's day and age would be actually flying with just a keyboard and a mouse, but what do you... Oh, sorry, I had my tool tips on because I was flying the 787 and I'm learning where all the controls are. For what you guys are using, what joysticks do you guys use or prefer? If you fly like DCS World and stuff like that with the fighters, are you using hot task systems or cheap joysticks if you're just doing this on an occasion or occasionally? Nice hills over there. What I'm doing is it's going to be all like FS 2020, so most of my stuff is going to be joystick based. I have a couple side stick airplanes I'll be flying there. About the A320 obviously is the most recent one that I've been flying mostly. I've just started flying the 787, which is yoke. So is the 747 and the Cessna and things like the Caravan. So a lot of yoke based stuff, so I'm going to be using it a lot, and you know, for the odd side stick, that's fine. We'll just work around it. And I do like the system they got set up on the throttles, which I'm looking forward to. I've actually ordered the not only the Boeing style throttles that come with it, but the Airbus. I've ordered the Airbus ones as well. So it's got, you can change the throttles to the Airbus style of throttle, which will be pretty cool. So let me do a little check here. I'm just going to look over to my Navigraph and pulling up the airport information. Airport elevation is 250 feet and it has a 1,800 foot runway. With no information on what they are. Okay, this is going to be fun. It might be a grass strip, so that'll be interesting. So 250 feet. So if we look at our 1,000 foot addition for circuit height, that would bring us down to a, say, 1,300 foot circuit. So we're almost there as it is. We don't have to go much higher. Let's get rid of the mouse. See the sun up there in the clouds. So one other thing I'm going to start probably in a week or two from when I'm recording this is one of the groups, and I can't remember which one it is, have come out with a IFR training package. So you run it as missions, and basically it'll run you through all the different things about instrument flying, from theory to partial panels to approaches and departures and airways and all that type of stuff. So I never got my IFR, but you do some instrument training during your regular pilot, and then here in Canada we have a night rating that you have to do, which is separate from your basic license. Which being Canada, with the long dark days in the winter, if you want to do any reasonable flying after work or whatever, you're gonna have it. You do another 5 or 6 hours, 5 hours I think, on top of the basic. So you get a little bit used to flying on instruments, but it doesn't go into approaches and ILS and RNAVs and VOR and DME approaches and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to run through that and just get a handle on what they are, considering I'm doing a lot more IFR flying in the sim than I normally would be. So that will be good to make sure that that is available knowledge-wise. Well, we're already halfway there. So it's good. So there's a lake over there. You can see there to the south, and a little bit of hills or mountains south of that. So we cross over the river that's ahead of us, and then the airport is to the southeast of the town of Birr, B-I-R-R. interesting name. So we landed, or we just trying to remember the direction we took off. I think we took off to the north. I don't think the winds are really doing anything. Let's just get you dialed in a little bit. Stop floating around on us. There we go. You can see there's the river coming up ahead of us. Getting into short days here. We're I think 6 weeks away from the shortest day of the year, 21st of December. I gotta say, for the countryside, they've done a really good job of the coloring. This looks appropriate for what you would picture Ireland as being. I mean, it may be generic that they use it right across Northern Europe, but it does look good. There's a little river there. Winding around the town. So we got the bigger river coming up after the lake here, and then the airport's not far after that. So once we get to the airport, we'll just hand flyer in. Got to figure out what the runways are. Navigraph didn't have it. It's got the airport in the database, but there's no information about the runways, so I have no idea which way they face. We'll find out shortly. Just getting a drink of water here. That sun's not helping though. There's a lot of glare there. Alright, 13 miles to go. Definitely much easier to see when you're not staring into the sun. Hope the weather holds off. Kind of cloudy today. It's been a warm one here. We're usually down just above freezing temperature wise in the Toronto area, but recently in the last week or so it has been warm. I went out yesterday to do some running around and it was 20 degrees Celsius. Unheard of, and it's supposed to last for a couple more days. Which is kind of weird. Makes me wonder what winter is actually going to be like this year. Alright. Where are we, airport? There we are. So it looks like it's just on the other side of another river. quite seeing that yet. We are 10 miles. I think that's it here. I think it curves around and just make out a bit of it there. And it heads off. Nine miles to go. So we're not calling them on ATC or doing any of that stuff. They've been annoying me lately with how they've been doing things. So I'm ignoring them. These are the left and right pan controls, and then we can go up like that and look down at the instruments. And we've got a not sure where that's looking. Reset our view, which I don't want to do. There we go. So I can start to see the river, a little bit of a glint of the sun there. And then the airport's right past it, so we should be... Well, we're gonna have to fly overhead and figure out which way the runways go. I don't recognize any of the place names around here, so other than Central Ireland, we're a little out of luck for where we are. Alright, it's 5 miles. A lot of farms down here, though. It'd be so nice to have that throttle quadrant right now. You can play with the mixture in the engine, put the flaps down without having to look anywhere. You just do it by feel. I gotta say, this is very much like having a GoPro strapped to your head. Not sure how it is for people watching, but it does make it easier for flying. Alright, I'm not trying to see if I can block that sun out. I'm not seeing the airport yet. Says we're 3 miles away. Really got a feeling it's a grass strip down here. And just to reference, it was 1,800-foot grass strip. 250-foot elevation. Well, we'll be the first, the first one of the trip. I'm just not seeing it. That's it there. Alright, well, I think we're gonna have to take matters a little bit into our own hands here. And see if we can see. Oh, there it is right there. All right. So trying to maintain circuit height here. Ah, there she is. So we're going to go in. We'll go into a left circuit. So this is kind of putting us that way, so it's pretty much a north. It's north-south. Alright. Come back slightly on the throttle. Come on. Yeah, there it is. Let's get the RPM back to about 1500. Start heading in on our base leg. A little bit fast. A little bit high so I can come out. We'll go full flaps. Oh, that glare. Trying to lose some altitude here. And we're not going to do it. So we're going to go around. We'll try it again. Let myself get too high back there. Try this again. Go to the east. Let's keep the altitude reasonable this time. airfield there. So we're a little close. It's one thing, never be afraid to go around. I don't always do it, but especially in real life. You can always go around and try again, but once you're down on a bad landing, it's hard to recover. Okay, I have no idea why I'm so high. Let's pull that down. Let's get the flaps in. Let's get her trimmed. I want her to 65 knots. Start our turn here. I've mentioned it before. One of the things you lose in flight simming is the feel, the air over the aircraft, the just the general feeling of where you are in the sky. I'm not
500.
seeing the airport at the moment. Probably going to be a little bit short. Oh, there it is. Alright. This is not the way to approach a landing, but we're gonna give it a try. Well, we're down. Not a pretty one. Certainly not. It was hard to see this one. Jeez. Let's get turned around here. This is where you go in over here. Come on. Well, it's interesting. As long as I keep the mouse button down, it will well, I think we're going to park her there. Anyway, that was an interesting arrival. Not one I'd recommend, but there you have it all the same. I'll shut everything down. Thank you for flying. We'll see you on the next leg. Bye for now.